This is amazing news. The first electric autonomous cargo ship launched in Norway. We know Norway is one of the world's leading manufacturers, producers of ships. And this is on the heels of the UN Climate Conference in Glasgow. This is by Pierre-Henri Desailles on Agency France Presse. And we have a picture of the the-yara-birkeland, and that means that they eliminated, they said, the need for around 40,000 truck journeys a year, now fueled by polluting diesel. It's amazing. Okay, so what's going on? Zero emissions and soon zero crew. Autonomous electric cargo, zero crew. Okay. The world's first fully electric autonomous cargo vessel was unveiled in Norway, a small but promising step towards reducing the maritime industry's climate footprint. By shipping up to 120 containers of fertilizer from a plant in the southeastern town of Porsgrunn to the Brevik port, a dozen kilometers, about 8 miles away, the much-delayed the-yara-birkeland shows off to media on Friday will eliminate the need for around 40,000 truck journeys a year that are now fueled by polluting diesel. Now, Sven Tor Holserth, chief executive of Norwegian fertilizer giant Yara, says, of course, there have been difficulties and setbacks, but then it feels even more rewarding to stand here today in front of this ship and see that we are able to do it, he said, with a sleek blue and white vessel moored behind him in an Oslo dock where it has been sailed for the event. This is the interior of the ship, as we can see, and this is Norway's Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Store taking a tour of the inside of the ship. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box. And again, the exterior of the Birkeland, as you can see. Now, the 80-meter, 3,200 deadweight ton ship, soon to begin the 2 years of working trials, to be fine-tuned, and to learn to maneuver on its own. Autonomous, as we said, self-driving. The wheelhouse could disappear altogether in 3, 4, or 5 years, said Holsether, once the vessel makes its 7.5 nautical mile trips on its own with the aid of sensors. Quite a lot of the incidents happening on vessels are due to human error because of fatigue, for instance. This is what project manager Jocelyn Bratton said from the possibly doomed bridge. He said autonomous operating can enable a safe journey. While the distance that the-yara-birkeland will cover may be short, it will face many obstacles. It will have to navigate in a narrow fjord and sail under 2 bridges while managing currents and heavy traffic from merchant ships, pleasure crafts, and even kayaks before docking at one of Norway's busiest ports. The next few months will be a learning period. Bratton said, first of all, we have to detect that there is something there. We have to understand that it's a kayak when we have to determine what to do with that. Now, currently, large vessels don't do much with a kayak. They can't do much. They can warn, but they cannot maneuver away or reverse to avoid an incident with such a thing. Now, autonomous navigation will require a new set of regulations that do not exist yet. 100 Teslas. On board the the-yara-birkeland, this autonomous electric cargo ship, the traditional machine room has been replaced by 8 battery compartments, giving the vessel a capacity of 6.8 megawatt hours sourced from renewable hydroelectricity. Bratton said that's equivalent of 100 Teslas. The maritime sector, which is responsible for almost 3% of all of man-made emissions, aims to reduce its emissions by 40% by the year 2030 and 50% by the year 2050. So in 2030, that's in 9 years, they're going to reduce them by 40% by the maritime sector alone. That's amazing. Now, despite that, the sector has seen a rise in recent years. International and domestic shipping and fishing combined, the industry emitted more than 1 billion tons of greenhouse gases in the year 2018, up from 962 million tons in 2012, according to the latest figures from the International Maritime Organization. By itself, the the-yara-birkeland's contribution to global climate efforts will be just a drop in the ocean, eliminating 678 tons of carbon dioxide per year churned out by the redundant trucks. And experts don't expect electric vessels to become a universal solution for the industry anytime soon. Electricity has a niche use, in particular for ferries, as these are often short and stable routes, possibly on coastal and river transports, but it's not well adapted for long ocean crossings, said Camille Egloff, a maritime transport expert at Boston Consulting Groups. She said, not only would a vessel need to be autonomous for long distances, but you would also have to equip ports with battery charges, of course. Where would they get charged? They have to get charged at ports. So there are technical and infrastructure challenges that would need to be coordinated, she said. While dozens of electric ferries already crisscross the fjords of Norway, a major oil and gas producer, which is paradoxically also a leader in electric transport, ocean liners will have to rely on their technologies to go green, such as liquid natural gas, e-methanol, and hydrogen. This is by the Associated France Press on Tech Explorer, and this is a November 19 article. Please leave your comments about this. Thank you for your support.